Hello everybody, this is DeanoGTO, and this is some more World of Tanks. So, this is actually a replay for, I think, the first time since 9.19 launched. I think this is going to actually be a replay. For the most part with 9.19, I haven't really done much in 9.19 yet. I've just been kind of like not really doing much, but I've done a couple of different things, and actually thinking about the only things I've really done in 9.19 as far as I can recall at least are mainly, and that was unlucky, are mainly just like live plays and stuff like that there, like the ranked battle game that I put up. So, starting off this game, heading down here, because I find that this position here is one of my favourite positions just to go to in tanks that have some sort of gun depression. If you know gun depression, don't touch this position. And also, with the M41 Bulldog, I did not realize you could shoot this far over by going to that position that M41 is in over here. I did not realize you could actually do that from over there, so that's an interesting one. It looks like he's actually outside the map just a little bit, so not entirely sure how that works, but well, I'm guessing he just did the mountain goating thing. And yeah, I wanted to get rid of the MX1390 because I know those things since they got changed in Tier 9. A lot of people saw it as a nerf. That thing got a lot better in HD, or not in HD, in 919, or 918, 918. It got better with light tank rebalance. I think 919 brought rank battles. 918, oh yeah, 918 brought the light tanks. It can get a wee bit confusing with all the different numbers you have to work with. So with the light tank rebalance, the French scouts got a lot better than they were because previously they were kind of crap. If I'm totally honest, there wasn't really that much going for them other than their autoloaders, and even the autoloaders, the Americans generally had better autoloaders than them, which is like. Okay. So now facing off against a WZ-132A, and this WZ-132A gets shot in the ass by his M41, so that means I can now kill him in one shot, and I take no damage from that guy. Thank you, M41, for basically helping me kill one of your teammates. Okay, so there's the Indian Panzer, stick shot into him. He's just 70 health left. I don't really fear an Indian Panzer. I mean, if you're in E5 tier 8s, all of them except for the ISU-152 are just kind of nah, I don't really care. So now we're against a VKB, and there is an M41 still up to the, oh god, I actually didn't notice this at the time, but there is a bat chat behind me, so this is one of my issues like that I have in terms of like the way I play. I forget situational awareness sometimes. Now, you're going to see me do something that's a little bit interesting, and you may think, why didn't you turn to face the bat chat? The reason I didn't turn to face the bat chat was because, well, I have a VKB and an Indian Panzer in front of me. It doesn't matter if I turn around to face the bat chat, because the bat chat, and also I didn't realize that stunning counter continued to count down after I paused the game. Not sure why that happened, but yeah. If I turned to deal with the bat chat, that would have actually gotten me killed. Because first off, the VKB would have easily gone through my armor and pinned me if I turned my sight onto him, and the Indian Panzer probably would have just come out from behind his rock, and he probably would have put a couple shots into me while the bat chat was shooting me too. So I would have died here if I hadn't have just continued pointing my armor towards these two, because these two are the immediate threats. The bat chat, there's nothing I can do. He's going to put a lot of damage to me no matter what I do here. So my goal here is basically to take a little damage from these guys in front of me, because I can tank 5 hits from a bat chat. 390 alpha per shot for 5 shots. That's about, let's see, 5 shots. Actually, wow, that was a lot. Actually, just thinking of it there, I am actually in the 1-shot range for the bat chat. I actually didn't think of that at the time. Or 1-clip range of the bat chat. I thought it's 1950 alpha in a clip. I thought it was like 1600 for some reason. I was thinking of the MX50P. That's what I was thinking of. Damn it. So I actually could have died here thinking about it, but there wasn't really much I could do about it. I had 100, pretty much 100 hit point barrier to not die, but you're going to see that doesn't really matter too much. So VKB in front of me. I actually don't realize the bat chat's behind me until he shoots me for the first time. I'm going to continue to focus on the VKB because I know how deadly VKBs are. Bat chat low rolls. Bat chat, I think, low rolls again. That one there, I don't know. The 4th shot he fires bounces, and the last shot it pens again. But I am continuing to ignore the bat chat because he's anti-clip. There's nothing he can do to me now except ram me, and I don't think he's going to do that. And then my own artillery, if you didn't see that, I think my own artillery just hit me in the side. So I lost an additional 300 health pretty much from my own artillery. I didn't realize that was my own artillery the first time I was playing this game. I didn't realize until I watched it back for the first time. I actually didn't realize that they didn't have a GW Tiger. I was immediately just thinking, God damn it, artillery, why are you shooting me? And then I was just thinking, yeah, it actually makes perfect sense for them shooting me because I'm an E5. But yeah, let's see. So I'm going to take a shot into that bot shot because I may as well reduce his health a little bit so that he's a bit easier to kill for somebody else who's dealing with him later. And you are going to notice that I actually did use the 1390 to cover my lower plate because I killed him earlier and I used him as, yeah, the GW Tiger did apologize there, but I didn't actually realize he chat me, so I don't actually reply to him. I completely just blanked that out. I was too focused on trying to deal with the VKB because I know how deadly these things can be. But it looks like our artillery has stunned the VKB now, so here's one of the main flaws with German vehicles. You're about to see it here now. Watch this. Shoot the tops of the tracks. You can pen and do damage in one shot. And you're just able to permatrack them out in the open and they can do nothing about it. So and typically if you're at that sort of angle, they do not have the gun depression to point their guns down at you. So there is an M41 behind me and I am currently backing up the ridge a bit to make sure I have a bit more of his side inside of my reticle, and I stick a shot into him. He's left on 230 health. They have a bat shot over. Damn, the bat shot gets around quickly. He was over here a second ago, and he must have driven the entire way around and driven around there and killed the Yak Panzer in the time I was waiting there. And at this point, I'm thinking like, come on, Scorpion, you can kill the M41, kill the M41, kill the M41, because I just don't want him to still be in the game. I hear a shot go off and he's not dead. And I was just like, damn it. Okay, that would have been a great guy to have dead, because those things are incredibly dangerous to have against you. Because, well, they're massively quick, and they can be really annoying to kill sometimes because they're just able to just dodge shots from time to time. And also they've good gun suppression as well, which means they can expose you to a really small target if they want to. Also, there's an STRV-103B, and actually their artillery, that surprised the shit out of me. I was genuinely like, oh my god, he's going to shotgun me, and I genuinely had like a little panic attack for a second there. I was like, no! I don't want to die now, I'm on 5 kills, and then I killed the artillery, I'm on 6 kills, and I'm like, yes! This is a great game so far. And yeah, there is an STRV-103B. I actually thought he was right in front of the T10, but at this point I decided to shoot his track to keep him pinned, so the artillery, which is reloading in 17 seconds roughly, will be able to put another shot into him. The bat shot, I immediately thought, oh god, he's going to shoot me. But I actually don't think I'm spotted right now, so stick shot into the bat shot. Bat shot is now one shot for anybody on my team. And T30 kills him off, and they're left with just the M41. So that all happened very, very quickly. So the GW Tiger P killed the STRV because, well, none of us, if you think about it, could really pen him. The Scorpion had a chance to pen him, but the thing with that there STRV 103B is he does have the heat shield on the front of his tank, which means that if you shoot that there, chances are it can sometimes deflect the shot upwards at an angle so it doesn't actually come into contact with the hull. It's weird, and also it has a 50mm armor zone, I believe, somewhere on the upper front plate, which means even the Scorpion here would be 50-50, but Scorpion had the best chance of penning him, but I don't think he realized he had the highest caliber gun here. I think he was mainly... I actually don't know if he took too many shots at the STRV, but the STRV... I believe that thing has 40mm armor for the most part on the upper front plate and lower front plate. So, yeah, if he had a shot in there, he would practically guaranteed to have killed him. But he was understandably being a bit more passive because, well, he's on 180 health. I mean, that's to be expected. And he's in a glass cannon, which means that anything that hit him would kill him. Whereas I'm in a heavy tank, and the heavy tank is able to actually take a couple of hits, even when it's on ridiculously low health. So they're now left with an M41 Bulldog. We have still got 5 tanks remaining. The thing is, the Bulldog is still entirely capable of winning this game. I mean, T10's a 1-hit. I'm a 2-hit. This guy here is a potential 1-hit. That guy, he's a tank destroyer. He has a really slow turret traverse, and he has very, very weak side armor. So This guy is potentially a very easy kill, and then there's artillery, which if he gets beside him, is a really easy kill as well. So the Bulldog is still entirely capable of winning this here. So I'm just like, I need to get to the cap. I need to make sure that we win this here. I don't want to lose this now. And yeah, I'm on 5,800 damage. I mean, I'm pretty proud of this game at this point. 1297 spotting damage, no that there. So, and 3,800 blocked. And okay. I don't know what happened to the Bulldog. I just saw his name pop up there. I don't know what happened to him. I'm not sure if he jumped in the water or what happened. I have no idea. Maybe he flipped his tank. I don't know. All I know is that I laughed pretty hard after that there because I was just like, yes, no more stress. Because I was honestly like there were a couple of scenarios there where I was panicking. Like initially when I was up here and the bat chat surprised me from behind, I didn't realize the bat chat was behind me. Also, that bat chat missing that one shot basically allowed me to continue. Or not missing that one shot, bouncing that one shot, basically allowed me to have such a good game because well, I got to kill the VKB. I got to put another shot in the M41, put another shot in the bat chat. Yeah, that was just overall that was an intense game, and I'm pretty proud of the way I handled it for the most part. Although it's weird, it's commentating over them afterwards. They never feel quite as intense as they are in the moment. In the moment, you're like, oh my god, this could be a win or lose thing here, and I could like one mistake could lose this game, and then after watching it back, you're just like, yeah, that looked easy. But yeah, so. I think I'm going to go on to the post-game status now. Actually, there's one thing I just want to quickly mention about this thing. I said I would never own this thing pre-nerf. Now, I actually feel like this thing's pretty balanced. After driving it, since it's been nerfed, since the drive wheel no longer has the honestly bullshit zone, which was, I think, 230mm armor, just that covered most of the front drive wheel, except like the little tiny section here. Now that no longer has that there, I feel like this thing's a lot more balanced than it once was. Also, they nerfed the cupola a bit, which means that you can actually pen this thing when it's held down now. So now when it's held down, it's not completely invincible anymore. And they didn't do much to the lower front plate as far as I'm aware, but having the cupola as somewhat of a weak point, at least for tier 10s, is pretty nice. And by the way, it's still pretty troll. I think the area you want to shoot is here, not here. Shooting here, for some reason, seems to bounce shots more often than not. Even though I don't think this little area here is actually modeled on the tank, like this little gun thing here. I think this area here is the best area to shoot from what I can remember, because it's got like the flattest angle. Like, thing is, if you see the side of this thing's turret, it's an easy pen, but the front is still tricky. So yeah, let's go on to the post-game stats. Okay, so this game was worth an ace tanker, a high caliber, steel wall, and a top gun. 1200 base XP, or 1230 base XP, and it says I made about 59,000 credits. I can't actually read it because it's very, very, very small in the preview window. So it came top of the team in terms of both damage and XP. Well, damage is obvious because I got high caliber. So yeah, overall in general in that game, I was pretty damn happy with the outcome. I mean, in tier 10s, it's pretty difficult to get like over 1,000 base XP in tier 10s is not the easiest thing ever, because you would think it'd be easy, but because you're always top tier and you don't get any kind of experience modifier for shooting things lower tier, in fact you get like a reduced modifier for shooting things lower tier than you, and you're always top tier, it's actually surprisingly difficult to get gigantic XP scores in tier 10s. So I blocked 3,800 damage, assisted in 1,300 damage, and did 5,800 damage. So I was pretty damn proud with that result, considering I'm still relatively new to this vehicle. So on to the actual main question of this video. As someone who was pretty, damn consistent with their opinion of the pre-change T110E5, what do I think of this thing now? Overall, after driving it for about, I think, 15 or 20 games, I think this thing's actually pretty balanced. I don't have too many problems with it. Like, the cupola was the main bullshit point. Well, actually, think about it. The cupola and the front drive wheel were the two bullshit points on this tank, and they fixed both of them, so they pretty much fixed all the problems I had with this vehicle. So, you can now actually pen the cupola with tier 10 vehicles without premium rounds. And you can now track and do damage to this tank with one shot through the front drive wheel. So that's basically both the main points I had about this tank, both fixed. Like I had a bunch of different ways I would say that they could have fixed it, but they fixed it in the most convenient and most doable way, if that makes sense. So I think they did a good job fixing this tank. Now they need to do something about the mouse because I've driven the mouse a couple of times and holy crap. I don't know how you balls it up so badly. That thing feels practically invulnerable to. In fact, it is practically invulnerable to standard rounds. But heat rounds and stuff still go through that thing like butter. If you don't like, if you're not lucky with the RNG of the shots that are fired at you, penetration like the high penetration of like how you hit your heat rounds and stuff like that there will still go through you like butter. It's really annoying. But yeah, versus standard rounds, like there's practically no point in even firing, if I'm totally honest. But yeah, overall, I think this tank is pretty well balanced. Like I kind of off topic there. I think it's pretty well balanced now. The speed and the fantastic firepower, if I'm totally honest, are balanced out for the most part by the slightly weaker than what was previously armor. Because, well, previously the armor was ridiculous. Like the only people who would argue it wasn't ridiculous are the people who were using it to farm like win rate and stuff like that there, and they were farming win rate and all stuff and all that crap with it because well, it was easy to farm like at least win rate and all in this thing because well, it was hard to lose in this thing previously because it was nearly impossible to kill them. So overall, I think this thing's pretty balanced now. Is it the best tier 10 heavy in the game anymore? I would say no. I would say it's probably level with the IS-7, although with the IS-7 the only real issue it has is its massive reload with the really inaccurate, really random gun. So this thing kind of level pegs with it because it has the complete opposite gun. It has a really consistent and really solid, powerful gun. But this thing here has significantly weaker armor than the IS-7. I would say, although the IS-7 does have a bigger lower plate weak point. The IS-7 does have invulnerable turrets. So yeah. I would say they're overall pretty damn balanced for the most part, and I think they've done a good job with this thing. Like I think that's my assessment of this thing. It's a shame that immediately after fixing this thing, they immediately introduced two other vehicles which are kind of broken in terms of like needing premium rounds to pen them in the form of the Type 5 and the mouse. Although those things aren't as bad as the T110E5 because the E5 was not only as quick pretty much as a slow medium tank, but also had the armor of some of the best heavy tanks. So it was just ridiculous. It was just like why would you drive anything other than a T110E5? That was like that was the whole thing for a while with the game. So yeah, I feel like I'm rambling on now, so I'm going to end it here. But yeah, let me know what you think of the T110E5. Do you think it's balanced now, or do you think it's still OP? I'm curious. I know this thing was really divisive for a while, but I haven't seen people complain about it too much for quite a while. So I'm really curious to know what people actually think of this thing these days in comparison to what it was a few patches ago. So yeah, leave your comments in the comment section below, and yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.